Okay, fools, welcome back in this bitch. Tofufu in this hoe, you a hoe too. Hey, so, so we,
Hip hop is not a misogynistic genre. It is not.
all I'm saying is that,
Remember that.
yeah, stay in school.
Especially for these kids.
Yeah,
Especially for the Gen Alphas.
yeah, Gen Alphas,
They
Gen
just
Z.
be brain rotting all over the place.
Yeah, you can read, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
I'm
aside,
worried if they can never even remember how to write. And that is just this.
I don't think they can write.
I don't think they can.
I'm not sure they've have ever held a pen.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
weird.
know,
Gen Alphas.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
That iPad brain rot
yeah, like skibidi.
really killed a generation, you know?
Like, you know, like when I see a lot of skibidi brain rot, like in this bitch.
You know what's not brain rot though?
What is not brain rot? Kendrick, Lamar, Solana. We've seen them. She goes by the name of SZA, as you know. We've seen them in our city. Yes, indeed. And we need to review this shit. There was a lot of emotion, positive emotions. There was a lot of one more time, one more time. Like, you know, the city was chanting for an encore.
This was a time.
This was
This
a time.
was best concert I've been to.
Honestly, the best concert I've been to was a Kendrick concert. This concert is also the best I've been to, still a Kendrick concert. The previous one was still a Kendrick concert. Kendrick is the best performer I've ever
They're
seen.
gonna say you're glazing, bro.
Like, you know, I be glazing your mama too. You know? What you gonna do about it? Like, you know, aside from glazing moms, aside from that, honestly, they did a great fucking job. Kendrick, like, don't get me wrong, SZA is like definitely incredible, but Kendrick is a notch higher. I don't.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any point to compare.
Yeah. I don't.
But-
Yeah.
This was like a 3 hour,
Mm.
like 54 track
Mm-hmm.
set list.
Mm-hmm.
They literally did 53 songs.
Mm-hmm.
The backdrop, the projections, like the background scenery, the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
Every song was something different.
Mm-hmm.
They were dancing. They had dancers. So like SZA, Solana, they were doing different stuff every single song.
Mm-hmm.
Some songs she was like hoisted like in the air, like
Mhm.
floating in the air and shit. Other songs she was dancing with her crew. Other songs her and Kendrick were dancing around the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything was something. Every song was something different.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see SZA's team, Kendrick and PG Lang all together.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely just brought together a very like holistic vision
Mhm.
for the whole set because it's cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things. I mean, now I'm spazzing all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm just ADHDing over the place. But from start to finish, first of all, they start off the set. Kendrick climbed out the GNX.
Yo, that moment though
That was
was
G.
amazing. That was a G moment.
And then when they closed the set, SZA and Kendrick
Yeah.
both got in the GNX.
And they opened the door for her.
He opened the door for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
You
opened the
should do
door
that
for
too.
her. Yeah, shoot that. Like, do that. Be a gentleman. Open the door for a girl. Because if you don't do that, then I'll be glazing your mom.
Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this?
I'm just saying.
This is why we need a producer to keep us on track. Man, I was down bad the last few days because
Yeah.
I was rewatching clips.
Yeah.
They went to, I think, Philly next. I
Yeah.
was rewatching clips,
Yeah.
watching videos, and like, that was a moment.
Wow.
That was a dope time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely one of the best performances I've ever seen. Like, you know, like you said, playing like 50 something songs is something that is like unheard of. Like, you don't see that very often. That's like a level, especially that moment when like he stood on the edge of the stage and everyone were asking one more time and he just like stood there silent
During Not Like Us.
during Not Like Us, staring at all of us. That felt like a Michael Jackson-esque moment.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, it's something we haven't seen in a long time.
Mm.
And
To be at that level.
to be at that level, and that's when you see not the birth of a star, the birth of a superstar.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Snoop, the game, the West
Mhm.
Coast gave him like pass the torch on him, like, right?
Mhm.
They passed the torch to him. But this time, he he virtually killed the biggest star in the world. Not only took his place and became bigger. Like I think that people don't really grasp like how hard of an achievement that is.
It's gonna,
Like
when
you
you look
know,
back in like 5, 10 years from
yeah,
now, you're gonna be like, wow, that
yeah.
was a moment.
Like
That was,
it's one of those moments like when like we'll tell those kids one day you had to be there.
yeah,
Like
that
you
was
just
the time.
had to be
That
there.
was the time.
Like you know because it's just like it's gonna be very difficult to explain to
Mhm.
people who are like right now like maybe 5 years old
Mhm.
because they won't be able to remember these
Yeah.
moments, right? But we'll have to explain to them like that like yes there was like Jay-Z Nas like back in the day for the old heads and shit,
Mhm.
but like this is bigger. Like
Yeah.
the Kendrick and other man beef
Yeah.
is something. And this video is not about the beef; it's about like the show, but the consequences of like that beef and
Yeah.
like what happened after and the
Yeah.
artistry and the release of like both albums. Actually, her album, his album, they both went number one. They
Mhm.
both went number one separately and together with the same songs for like fucking like I don't know fucking 56
Or,
weeks or some shit like you know.
yeah.
And it's just like and I mean I think they're still number one. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But it's completely insane. It's a run that is completely insane. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and the fact that like a year later, after the initial beef, he's become bigger. And
Yeah.
and the show, the concert showed us that, like, you know, the energy that he was putting. And I think that like every time he would come back on stage, because sometimes they would do songs together, sometimes she would do a song which was magical. There was like those weird human insects things, very weird
Some of
things.
the set pieces were a little,
Yeah,
they're different. They're
yeah,
different.
like
Yeah.
you can like you go see them live because
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to explain because like there's like
Yeah.
those I'm not even sure what they are, but those like some human insects and shit.
You know the baby shark moment, like
Yeah,
10 years ago or something?
yeah,
SZA had like a praying mantis
yeah,
costume on stage.
yeah.
It's just
And then
all
she had like videos of praying mantis
bugs and stuff.
and bugs, and then she
Yeah.
turned herself into a butterfly,
Yeah.
and then she was
That was her theme. Her
Yeah.
theme, a lot of nature things.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see they actually combined the themes really
Mhm.
well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
when they had songs together, they kind of combined
yeah.
some of
Combine
those
the
vibes
genres,
together.
yeah.
You still see like the car was covered in like
Yeah.
this like green. I'll put the photo up here.
Mhm.
All these plants and stuff
Mhm.
for 30 for 30.
Yeah,
Which was dope to see
yeah.
like
It was
those
really
things
dope
come
to see.
together.
Yeah.
But their vibes really match
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, which was really dope because they were able to merge
Mhm.
both worlds like very in a seamless way.
Mhm.
Like you know, there was really like synergy between the two,
Yeah.
which I really liked. I really liked that, and even when they were on stage, like the chemistry between them, like her smiling, him being like, "Yo," basically almost asking questions while rapping
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
And just
Chemistry.
like the chemistry was like
Chemistry.
I don't think I've ever
Platonic
seen
love.
this. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that like between two artists like having this much chemistry, and it was just like just amazing to see like you know just
Yeah.
amazing to see like Compton and California being represented the way it was.
Yeah.
Her universe being very like fairy like, represented nature like, very well represented as well.
Yeah.
And just like her vocals and his rapping skills just merging
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
The team behind this concert and this tour deserve all the money they're getting, like
Yeah.
you know, because it's like you know you guys can check on TikTok and IG. We have like this recap of the main moments of the show, and like but one thing that was striking was the this fucking 12K like screen and some shit, like you know there was like this giant screen.
We gotta talk about those visuals.
Those visuals were crazy, like were insane. We had like basically a Super Bowl camera following them and shit like the entire show, and those guys were working like the cameraman. Like those people deserve their money because that shit looks heavy. First of
Yeah.
all, that looks very heavy.
Yeah.
But they were like holding that very steady.
Yeah.
The image was like so well integrated to
Smooth.
the VFX and also the tech team doing a live VFX. I've never seen that before.
That was cool.
Yeah.
We should show a clip
Yeah,
of that here.
so you guys can see what we're talking about.
Visuals. Those
the
visuals. that was something else. Because
Yeah.
for the first 3 songs, of
Yeah.
okay, we start off the show.
Yeah.
Kendrick opens up with Whacked Out Murals,
Yeah.
30 for 30.
Mhm.
And then as soon as they transitioned to SZA set, there was like a whole backdrop like filled with flowers.
Yeah.
And I was like, are those real flowers? And I
Yeah.
was tripping out for like a whole minute because
Yeah.
it's like, those look so real. And then it took me a while to realize every song they were changing the scenery so quickly. I was like, oh, those are just like
It's a screen.
8K, 12K,
Yeah.
whatever is after
Yeah.
12K. Those projections were
Insane.
changing
Yeah.
like literally every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then there was times when the stage looked like it was made out of rocks.
Yeah.
The backdrop.
And then like the rocks were like basically crumbling.
I was
and
like, what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on?
And there was like this weird like 3D effect. And it looked like the rocks were real.
Yeah.
And then like you had to really pay attention to like
Yeah.
the screen to realize, oh, this is not real.
Yeah.
This is a screen.
Yeah. Yeah. The visuals were
Yeah.
were incredible.
Like insane. Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much packed into it.
Yeah.
There was a lot to look at. It was very thoughtfully done. The stage, they had visuals projected on the sides too. So like if you had bad seats
Yeah.
where you're like you can't even see the stage properly, but there was projections facing you.
Yeah.
Also, there's projections facing the front of the audience, but then facing the side audiences. So everyone could see what was actually on screen, which is really dope. And like you said, you want to talk about the live VFX?
Yeah,
For a
no,
second,
the live VFX was insane because like at some point, like literally like, so Kendrick is rapping and all that, and then we see like this kind of like African American mural, like full of colors, full of messages, full of like Easter eggs, and like I was trying to like almost like look at everything, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, like and then like, but the way he was like seamlessly integrated into like the VFX, and even like I forgot what song it was, but like when there's like
that was Not Like Us. During
the money and power.
The Money Power one, that was Family Ties.
Family Ties. So he does Family Ties, and then suddenly he appears on screen with like a crazy VFX behind him, with like basically, which is kind of like a criticism on capitalism and all that in a very subtle way. Not that subtle actually, because the screen was big, but like it was just like insane to see how seamlessly he was integrated to the mural behind, like
insane,
behind him in real time.
Yeah.
Because he was moving on stage and like at this end. He
Really
was moving at the same time on the screen, and I was like, how are they doing this?
Really cool.
Like literally, it was basically like watching the making of a documentary or a movie, like happening in front of you.
Yeah.
And seeing the actors like moving, and you're like, wait, like how are you doing this?
There's a lot.
Like like that screen probably cost like fucking $50 million. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah, because I kind of want to learn about the technology itself and how they were able to integrate the camera and the screen and to make them seamlessly interact together. Because it's something that like literally is never seen that. And even like everyone on that stage knew exactly where to be, how to act. Like there was clearly a timing. And they knew like how to move around both of them, around SZA and around Kendrick.
Yeah, and the camera work was coordinated with the movements.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, everything was very calculated. There were moments where it felt like there were a few moments that felt unscripted.
Yeah.
Where like they were engaging with the crowd,
but they were still adapting to it.
Yeah. But everything felt like really planned and calculated.
Like so well.
And it was a whole production. Yeah. We got our money's worth.
No, we definitely
we definitely spent some of our rent money on those tickets, but worth it.
Definitely worth it, because like it's something that like is a type of like concert that like you explain to your kids.
Yeah.
Like one day, like when we'll be like much older and old heads, like maybe you watching, like we'll have to explain that to like our offspring and be like, yo, you wasn't there. You should have been. Like, and
they'd be like, forget math.
Like literally,
forget math.
This is Kendrick Lamar.
Listen, like, we're going to class
like
today.
literally.
Let me tell you about the concert of 2025. All right, so there's a rap beef. It started off in 2011. Drake was offended that Kendrick did that. And we're gonna break it down.
Like there's gonna be like both of us like teaching them like okay, like no, that was like honestly an insane thing to watch. Like I mean, I don't even know if that's the right thing to say, but like a Hollywood level production for an a concert, which I've never seen that level of production before.
Yeah, we talked about the visuals, and we'll put some of those videos up. The crowd was
Lord, give me strength.
Interesting.
The crowd was, yo.
It was.
I'll let you start with that because I know I'm gonna crash out.
Let me start by saying be a little balanced. It was mixed. There's lots of different vibes.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember when they were playing Euphoria.
Yeah.
Kendrick was rapping Euphoria.
Yeah.
By the way, crazy songs. Just literally 6 minutes of nonstop rapping.
Such a beautiful
And
song.
of course, I know
everywhere
95% of the lyrics.
Yeah.
So I was going bar for bar.
Yeah.
And I looked in the row in front of me. I looked to my left, looked to my right. And I could definitely see everywhere I looked, there were at least a couple diehard fans that knew every single bar, every single lyric, and they're rapping Euphoria.
Yeah.
But I see you stand by stick, I believe you see two bad bitches. That just like rapping every bar and just into it. I was like, okay, it's dope to see. There's real fans of these artists, and same for SZA.
Yeah.
When SZA was on, there were people who knew screaming their hearts out, like in tears, just like giving SZA that love and appreciation, and knew all the lyrics. So it was dope to see that there were diehard fans.
Yeah.
What was interesting to see was
concerning.
The crowd was less melanated than I was expecting.
That's probably the proper way to say it. I will just say that I wish more of the melanated people would be there. The city that we live in
is extremely diverse.
It's a very, very diverse city. For some reason, there seems to be a surge from suburban people who don't share the gift of melanin because they lack that gift. And
we're speaking so cryptic, someone's probably lost right now. Like, what are you guys talking about?
And that's just
there's a lot of white people.
Exactly. Exactly. There is a lot of white people at the show, and some of y'all be lost. Some of y'all,
which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I did notice that there were some people who did look lost. Like literally in the row behind us, there was this white couple, and I did see some white fans who really loved both artists and really appreciate both artists. But I did see a lot of casual fans just who only knew not like us because it was this big moment
and like all the stars.
Yeah.
Well, it's clubs, I guess. Yeah.
But they did there's a lot of casuals who just seemed like they just weren't connecting with a lot of the other music, but they were there. There was a vibe, like a lot of people were there because this was just like a big moment in music and in the culture. But they actually didn't take the time to be like, oh, like, let me actually go see what this is all about. Like, let me actually go learn and appreciate the music
and the culture.
And if you're going to go to a concert, you got to be showing up with like that
energy.
1,000% energy. You got to be on that.
Yeah.
On that shit. Singing, like screaming, like rapping bar for bar. You better know the lyrics of like at least 60% of the songs.
No,
okay? I'll just give you that. Okay.
No, and I fully agree because I mean when he played Money Trees and shit, and like it's my favorite song.
I mean, we're just like,
and, like we fucking we fucking scream, we started to jump, but at the same time,
and then you notice like, wait,
exactly.
Why is it just a few of us who are carrying energy in our section?
And then I was kind of like looking, and I was like, why are you here? And why don't you know the words? And it just felt weird because I'm like, why are you here if you don't really know the words, the culture, the vibe, the energy? Like, why don't you put the energy and the effort in? Because these people, SZA, Kendrick, all the artists, all the people like on stage, the cameramen, they put hard work into like giving us a proper tour, a proper show. The least you can do is listen to the music, know at least half of the songs, not even all of them, at least half, and bring the energy. When a dope song comes, Family Ties, Money Trees, whatever.
You gotta know Money Trees.
You gotta know exactly. You gotta know those songs. You gotta jump. You gotta give energy because he's giving us energy. She's giving us energy. What are you giving?
This is when you pull up at a party and no one's dancing.
Yeah.
They're just wall hanging.
Yeah.
Just Like you're literally decor, just
Like,
you're not contributing to.
yeah, and unfortunately, we see a lot of parties like that in this generation.
It's another.
Which is another
We don't
conversation.
have time for this, friend.
Yeah, but going back to like the main topic, yeah, it's actually very disturbing, very disappointing to see that, and to see like why are you coming here in business casual being lost, like and like not understanding what's going on around you. Like either you study the game and you understand, or you don't come, because also you're wasting your own money then, like because you don't even seem to enjoy your time. So I'm very confused to why you're there, like and that's a reference to like the man in the TikTok video. You guys go watch the TikTok video and you'll see.
Just could have been better.
Yeah, the crowd was kind of mid. Also, PSA, if you ain't black, don't say it. I just wanna reiterate that the word is ours, will always be ours. This is not a conversation. There is no debate. I'm not here to argue. I'm telling you, you will follow it. Now move along. Thank you.
Some rules are just
that's a rule.
You just can't explain them.
Like,
It's how it is.
It's just how it is. Be humble and move along. Bye.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, that definitely was something that like bothered me, because like I was like observing the crowd, and I was like
certain moments
I was seeing especially some Caucasian souls enjoying.
They're enjoying themselves
like
too much.
themselves too much, especially enjoying saying certain words too much. And you guys know exactly which words. And if I catch you, you know what time it is. That's all.
Better squabble up.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the crowd. We interrupt this podcast for a bit of late breaking news. Earlier last week, during Kendrick and SZA's concert in Toronto, there was a group of Drake fans.
Yes.
Behind me, we have a group of pro-Drake protesters who are trying to make sure that everyone who attends this concert knows exactly whose city this is.
I'm here to support Drake. I got a speaker with just playing Drake's best hits. We got a group chat, and everyone in the group chat's pulling up and showing love.
When are they pulling up and showing love? We only see a small group of people here so far.
Right.
This is the 6th. This is not Compton, California. You see the CN Tower?
This is the boy city. Look what we're representing right now. That's View's album cover right there.
I'm here to support Drake, show Kendrick whose city this is and where he's come.
Yes.
Attempting to stage what they called an OVO takeover.
Mm-hmm.
And what it ended up being was a bunch of teenagers, from Scarborough, from Oakville, from Brampton, holding signs outside the stadium, being like, Drake is the best, and taking pictures and playing Drake songs. And there was maybe at most like 10, 15 of them.
Yeah.
And they did get shut down by the cops, which is actually hilarious. And they had a group chat link. I was like, I gotta see what they're doing in this group chat.
Explain to the audience what you saw.
What I saw was a lot of incel behavior.
Yeah.
First of all, the group chat, when I first joined the Drake OVO Stan group chat, it was called Sandra as a Trick.
And
kind of fucked up.
Honestly, that's super fucked up.
She explained Sandra.
And so Sandra is Drake's mom. And honestly, like that's her first name. And regardless of how you feel about Drake or his music, I think that people need to understand that this is real life. Like there's things that like need to be respected.
Separate. And
separated from the beef, the music, the Kendrick, the Drake of it all. Kendrick's family, children, parents should be left out of it. Drake's kid, Drake's mom, leave that out of it. Like Adonis has nothing to do with that. His mom, Sandra, has nothing to do with that.
I joined this group chat, and they called the group chat Sandra's a Trick.
Which is...
I'm like...
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Because it's like, if you're a fan of the person, why are you insulting his mom? that makes literally no sense.
But the group chat was lots of incel vibes.
Yeah.
They were trying to entice people to come pull up and show support for Drake by offering free hoodies and pizza. Very funny. It would have been nice if we grabbed a slice on the way.
Yeah,
inside,
honestly,
but,
pizza.
yeah. But I'm leaving with something.
Yeah.
But anyways, they're playing like Hotline Bling,
Yeah.
Drake's music, Drake's
Yeah.
dance on the speaker.
Yeah.
I did not see many people there,
Yeah.
and
There was like 10 of them.
and in the group chat at some point there was people just trolling the chat,
Yeah.
being like, you guys wouldn't be in this group chat if you had jobs and shit like that. So they started infighting. They were fighting with each other and shit. There was people trolling.
Yeah.
So lack of coordination.
Yeah.
People were confused. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get a hoodie, this and that. Like, and someone's like, I'm gonna mail you the hoodies. Don't worry.
The fuck?
So it's just weird.
Yeah.
Weird. At some point, I saw a video of some kid flashing a gun.
Yeah.
In a video. I was like,
damn.
what are you doing? Like, I don't know. Just like pointing a gun at the camera and just like, it's just like a clip.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know why you're doing this.
Yeah.
Random. They're down bad.
Oh, I'll go
They're
further
down
than
bad.
that. First
They're
of
down
all,
bad.
these guys never had sex. They never had like they have never felt the touch of a woman. They need love. Like,
I need to point out real quick, there were no females at the Drake OVO the 6th takeover.
which
at
goes
Kendrick
back to
concert.
what I'm saying.
There were no
they-
females in the group chat either.
They do need love, like but also advise any woman watching this podcast, please stay away
Be
from
careful.
that.
Be careful.
Do not engage with those individuals. They're highly dangerous. They like brain cells and they're possibly illiterate. So please
Anyways.
stay away from it.
Anyways, regardless of whether you're a fan of this and that artist,
Leave the moms out of it.
it's just funny to see, two big, undeniably great artists pull up into a city, and you feel the need to make a group chat, stage an intervention, and be like, what are you doing? Kendrick's the ops. You can't be going to this.
Yeah.
like the black Israelites on the street being
Oh my
like,
God, you didn't say that.
just.
That literally makes
You're all
me
going to
funny.
hell. Like, the Lord is coming. 2015, 2016. You're a sinner. Like, just, anyways, just that they're doing that outside the concert is just fucking hilarious.
I mean, it is funny. And speaking of sinners, I mean, Drake released a new song with like Smiley. And that is a sin.
Yes, he did. He did.
The song is disgusting. I would say that. Moving on.
Anyways, that was the vibe. That was the Drake fans trying to do a takeover.
Yeah.
That was the visuals.
Mhm.
Is there anything else we need to say about this concert?
No, I mean, I'm not honestly like I think I will leave the people who like if you've never seen Kendrick or SZA, and if you are able to go see them and to save money or things like that, please go because honestly, if you're a real fan of hip hop, and you really respect the craft, and also a fan of R&B, you will get your money's worth. Like you will really get your money's worth, and it's an experience, man. Like it's really something unique to witness, something unique to see, something that stays with you, something that will leave you a bit depressed after you experience it because you want to experience it a second time, but it's too expensive. So yeah, like honestly, if you love hip hop, if you love R&B, and you have the funds, like go see them, and please leave comments and tell us. And if you've seen them, please subscribe, leave comments, tell us what was your experience, how you felt before, after, during, your favorite songs, and actually, what were the favorite songs that you heard when we went to see them?
Family Ties was a hype moment.
Family Ties was crazy.
Money Trees,
Craziness.
really cool and cute to see Kendrick and SZA doing Luther and 30 for 30 together, like big brother, little sister kind of energy, amazing performers.
Yeah.
Literally
so many,
bangers back to back to back.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah,
I think that's true.
Yeah, Element was hype moment. There was just
I didn't expect that song. It was like it was amazing.
there was just lots of hype moments.
Mhm.
I was rapping Element, All Right, Not Like Us, Euphoria, Bar to Bar.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria was
'Cause
amazing.
it was a moment I remember sitting. I was supposed to be working.
Yeah.
I was on at my desk, and then I just started seeing things online.
Yeah.
Just chatter like Kendrick dropped.
Yeah.
And it was a random ass Tuesday
Yeah.
in like April of 2024.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on? And I
Yeah.
go on YouTube, I play Euphoria, and it's just 6 minutes of
Yeah.
just straight fire. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I remember that moment. So at the concert, I got to just relive that moment and rap everything bar for bar and see. There's a couple of girls in our section. I didn't see any dudes, but I saw girls in our section who knew every lyric to Euphoria.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you're just a fan of hip hop, you're a fan of lyricism, you're a fan of Kendrick, of course, but you're a fan of the game and lyricism, you know?
Yeah.
So, I like rapping Euphoria. There's too many moments. But what was yours?
Definitely Money Trees, bro. Like, I mean,
Money Trees is just
like,
straight tears.
it's just like
make
that.
a grown man cry.
That dark tears, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I was feeling emotional and shit. I was like, because like so this is the third time I've seen him live, and every tour that I've seen him, he's done it.
Yeah.
And every time he does it, it's better than the previous time.
Yeah.
And like the way he did it this time, I didn't expect this transition.
Yeah.
And when the song started, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and like I know that song like basically word for word.
Yeah.
And like literally I was like rapping my ass off, and everyone was jumping. And I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, you know, and like that was definitely my favorite moment. And there was a lot of great moments. Like when they came on stage, when they did like 30 for 30, when they did Gloria, when they did Man, is it Man in the Arena? At the Arena?
Man at the Garden?
At the Garden, Man at the Garden, which is a song that I know almost word for word, because that's my favorite song of GNX, which might not be everyone's song, but that's mine. And yeah, I was just like in almost an out of body experience, like during some of these songs, like
it was surreal.
It was just like completely surreal, and like that's why I feel like if you have the chance to see them, please do, because it's amazing. It's our second time seeing them together, and like honestly, it almost feels like almost a tradition at this point. But like it's dope. It's something that like is so unique to see, to feel, to experience, to see. And the last time we saw them in this time was completely different. I mean,
every show is literally the whole arc and the whole narrative, the whole setup, the visuals, everything is completely different.
Yeah,
it's just dope.
Which was just like honestly amazing. But
I do have an anecdote.
Yeah,
I got a bone to pick with fucking Ticketmaster.
Oh yeah,
and Live Nation. Fuck you! It's on site.
Yeah.
If you work for Ticketmaster,
fuck you.
I will. I might punch you in the face if I see you in the street.
And I will help him. Of course.
It's not the employee's fault, but I just can't help it because this company has got me fucked up.
Yeah.
The day that tickets come out, okay, there is like a 40,000 person queue for the Toronto show, which is the one we went to. Something crazy like that. I remember I was 23,000 in queue. So I waited an hour and a half, saw the tickets. The tickets were fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like the cheapest ones were about 200, like at the highest sections. And then the ones closest to the floor were like in the thousands, like 1,200 or 1,500. I'm like, this is insane. So it's like, guys, we got to discuss our budget. We got to discuss if we're going to pay rent on time. What are we going to do? But we're like, okay, let's budget about $400 per person to get however good of a ticket we could get. So we got a 200 level seats that were not even really good. They weren't close to the balcony. They were in the back of the balcony. So you wouldn't be able to see as much. So we spent like over 400 each. I was like, fuck, like, I can't believe we're spending this much, but let's just do it. Cause let's just blow all over concert budget on just seeing Kendrick and SZA's two headliners. So it might be worth it. That was 6 months ago. The week before the concert, I start to see prices go down. Okay, because obviously lots of people can't afford $300, $400, $500 per ticket. So a lot of people just waited, and they were lucky because prices dropped the week before. And I remember seeing the same section, the same tickets, the same section that we were in, that we originally got. They cost $400, over $400 originally. They were now going for $200 or $250. I'm like, fuck, we could have saved almost $200. Like, what? Like, that is not cool. So I'm like, what do I do about this? I'm like, okay, I got just scheming. I went on Reddit. I saw what other people did. and basically I called Ticketmaster like literally like 6 times that week. I became the biggest Karen of my life. I don't complain for shit, you know. If there's
true.
like, if I go to a restaurant and the dish is like okay, kind of like subpar, I don't send it back. I'll just eat it and just never go there again. But
Yeah.
this time I'm like, I'm leaving with something. Like, we gotta fucking do this. I call them. I become the biggest Karen. Every time I call them and I didn't get an answer that I liked, I'm like, please escalate this to your manager. And unfortunately, it was some poor Filipino person, call agent, that was handling the calls. And I try not to be angry, but I was like, please just escalate this to your manager because this is not fair. And you're punishing like the people who bought early. Eventually, I was able to work magic on this. Not only did I get all the Ticketmaster fees refunded, which is like $300,
Mula.
I was able to exchange those 3 tickets in the 200 level section for 6 tickets. For almost 6 tickets in the 100 level section in the lower bowl. And I was able to sell off the remaining 3 tickets. So there's 3 of us going. I got 6 tickets because I was able to exchange for the equal value of what the tickets were worth originally. So compared to what the tickets were worth now, I was able to get 6 tickets. I sold 3 tickets. Us 3 went together, and we were able to cut the cost of each ticket from $430 to like $230. I'm like, this is the most Asian moment I've ever had in my life. I just saved all 3 of us $200.
In Jesus' name.
And I don't think my partner was ever prouder of me than in that moment. Fuck Ticketmaster.
Fuck yo.
But I was able to get our tickets like partially comped.
Save the day.
And I have to say I did save the day.
Indeed. Hallelujah. So for all y'all, next time you buy concert tickets, maybe don't buy them the day of if they're really expensive. Maybe wait a little bit.
Especially if it's an arena or
Yeah.
a stadium. Don't buy the day like they get released.
Maybe
You
wait
might-
a little bit.
You might save money waiting. If it's a small venue,
Small venue you find is
you
more.
should buy right away.
Yeah, you should buy right away because they go quickly because they're usually cheap. But big names like the Kendrick, the SZA, the Drakes, the whatever, but
Yeah.
don't jump on it right away. Like
Yeah. But just watch the prices,
yeah.
No.
If you can afford it, great.
Yeah.
But if you want to be cautious, like maybe wait a little bit.
Yeah. But that's our concert recap.
That is. Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you like next time. We have like a part 2 coming up where we dive into who is the next superstar, who is the next star. But if you've been to the show, if you've seen, Kendrick and SZA live in the store, please comment, subscribe, tell us what you liked, what you disliked, tell us what you want to see next time from both of them, and we'll see you very shortly. See ya.
Right.
Yo.
They don't like us.
They don't like this.